Hey guys, it's Justin McFarland here, and I'm excited to bring you this week's youth update, our teaching from this week. We're in the week 2 of 3 circles, and just looking at kind of a good way to understand God's big picture of what's going on in this world. What is God's story, the history of this whole world that's revealed through Scripture. And this week we want to talk about brokenness. We've talked about the 3 circles or 3 worlds. And this is a world that we know well, that we live in a world of brokenness. In 2020, it's pretty easy to see the brokenness, right? There's a virus going around. There's impact from the response to this virus. So even if you think the virus is nothing, there's been a response that's been really hard. If you think the virus is scary and think whichever side you land on this, you can see brokenness. The conversations that are happening around this show kind of our brokenness and how we relate to one another. It's easy to see the brokenness. We see political divide on many issues. We see racial divide in a really hard and broken way today in America. The fact that people would look down on others because of the color of skin shows the brokenness of humanity. The responses, some of the rioting and burning of buildings show brokenness, that people don't know how to express their frustrations, and they go to the destruction of property. That's brokenness, right? We live in a world on brokenness. Bringing it maybe to different levels is we have relational brokenness. There's brokenness in people's homes. Marriages are divided. Family relationships are divided. Friendships, relationships, they break up. We have brokenness inside ourselves. We have depression and anxiety. And so we look at the brokenness. And what I'm wondering is, what brokenness are you experiencing? What brokenness are you feeling? I would love to hear from you. I would love to know how I can be praying for you. So send me your prayer requests. Where are you experiencing brokenness? So to understand that the world is broken, it realizes that, as we talked about last week, that God designed us, God designed this world in a different way, in a way that we were supposed to have love for God and love for each other, enjoy this creation, and enjoy and have a right understanding of ourselves created in God's design. But what we saw is that God said, hey, you need to follow my command. Don't eat from the tree that's going to kill you. And humans sinned against God. They said, no, we think we know better. And what that sin did is it created the world of brokenness, the world in which we live. And now there are many ways that we try to fix the brokenness. Maybe it's popularity, but popularity doesn't fix the brokenness. Maybe we turn to alcohol or substance abuse, and that doesn't fix the brokenness. Maybe we try to get an education, or we try to be great at sports, or we try to find affection in a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and that does not fix the brokenness. It might temporarily make us feel better, but the brokenness remains. There are many things that people turn to, and it doesn't lead us out of the brokenness, and we're stuck in this painful reality. Some people may disagree that God created us, as Genesis 1 and 2 says, for a right relationship with Him and for each other. But when we see Genesis 3 and really going all the way throughout the rest of the Old Testament to Malachi, people are pretty well aware of the broken reality. You're not going to find people saying, this world is exactly the way it should be. There are few people that say that. And if the world is not the way that it's supposed to be, it makes us ask, well, why do we think it should be better? And that's a point that suggests that God created us in a right way. So I want you to think about a couple things. What are some of the things that you turn to try to fix your brokenness? And how's that working for you? What are some ways some of your friends or the people close to you try to fix the brokenness? And how is that working for them? Again, I'd love to be praying for you. If there's some things that you're stuck in and you need help, you can send that to me, and I'd love to be praying for you. But also, does this make sense to you? Can you see that there's brokenness in this world, and that brokenness suggests that we were created for a different reality? I hope this is helpful for you as we look at this good picture. Again, this is a tool we picked up from Apex, and I think that this helps us to understand God's story, why the world is the way that it is, and it also kind of gives us a way to conversations. Are you asking people about their brokenness? People need to share their story. So I encourage you to reflect on your own brokenness and then invite others to share their brokenness with you. Next week, we're going to find out the hope that God gives us to get us out of this world of brokenness and get us into this world of God's design. So see you next week.